everybody, and welcome back to our bathroom refurb. And today is step 3, which is going to be we're going to frame out the mirror. The reason I'm going to go with framing out the mirror before I put up the new light fixture is it's a completely different fixture. It does have the bulbs that hang down, but it may hang down a little more, so I want to make sure I've got my mirror framed out, so when I put it up I may have to raise or lower the new light fixture. Earlier today I came in here and I measured the length and the width of the piece for the top and piece for the bottom that I was going to need. I know I want it to go all the way to the wall and over to the edge of the mirror, which is 28.5 inches. So when I went down to Home Depot, I cut them a couple of inches longer just so I would have extra and could clean up the edges. So this is one of my short pieces, and I know it's going to be up against the wall, and I want it to go here. I can measure this, write on it, and all that good stuff, and try to remember my measurements, but the easiest thing for me to do is just to mark it with a pencil, because I want it to come to the edge of the mirror. And this is going to be at a 45-degree angle, which is the same thing that's in your door frame, picture frame, anything that's square or rectangle. This is not going to be the perfect angle, but so I know where to cut, I'm just going to do a little line that simulates my 45 degree, and that's a terrible simulation. And we'll do the same thing on this side. Now, I could take each piece and go through this, but just because I do things this way, I'm going to cut my first piece, bring it up here, make sure it sits where I want it to sit, and then move on to the next 3 pieces, which the next 3 pieces, once I do have these in there, will be fine. My only concern, and if you live in an older house or even if you don't, sometimes you have to be careful that things are not square. There's a very possibility this mirror is not square, or it wasn't put against the wall square, which I know it's not because there is like a 1/4 inch at the top and 1/8 inch at the bottom. Don't worry about that. This is going to be white, so all we got to do is, if it's not completely right, is just put it in. So let's go downstairs and cut our first piece. So it's always best to measure twice and cut once. So we just cut one angle, and it is at a 45. And so I'm going to measure again, which is a good thing I did, because here is where I had originally measured to be my 28.5 inches. Here is actually where I need my longest point. After we've done our cut, and I'm going to measure from the we should be at 28.5 right here. Measure it again on the wall. It is exactly 28.5.
You mean I've been doing this wrong the whole time? Measure 3 times, cut 7?
Well, we're not done yet. This may be measured 27 times and cut 3.
Okay.
So luckily I picked up some extra wood because we've got another mirror that we're going to be redoing. If I have to use it, well. So we've got our line marked. This is where our angle is going to be. Okay, so we've got our old miter box and our new saw, because that struggling to cut that was just not pleasurable at all. So before we had it this way, we do have a 45 on. There's 2 45s, one for the left side and one for the right side, or you can flip your wood over either way. But we're going to find my 28.5 inch mark. But y'all got to think about this for a minute. So my 28.5 inches for my longest piece. So that is going to be the bottom. that's the way I saw it should cut. So, we should be good now. We've got our 245. And let's go upstairs and put this on and mark our next 3 pieces and cut them. Okay, so we've cut our first 2 angles across the bottom. And that's good right there at the edge of the mirror. Went ahead and took the liberty of cutting one of the angles on one of the side pieces, just to see how it's gonna look. So we've got that there. I probably need to go get some tape. And wrong side. Now this wall is obviously not straight, or the mirror is not on there straight, but I do want the frame to go all the way to the wall because there's no way of painting that little bit of crack if we ever change the color again. So, that being said, that angle is off just a little bit. So we'll just end up having to fill that with some paintable caulk. Other than that, we are looking good so far. So we're gonna go ahead and cut all the other 2 pieces, all the angles on it, and just tape it up here so you can see what it's gonna look like. Then we'll go back and paint it and then put it all together. So we're not gonna put you through the pain of watching me sweat through using a handsaw to cut these miters. So we're just gonna cut, give everybody a break, come back with all 4 pieces cut, ready to go. Okay, we're back. We've got all 4 pieces cut, struggled through it with that handsaw, but we got them done. And I went ahead and put a couple coats of paint on this. Even though it had a primer on it, that was just primer, it wasn't paint. And we also, the top part that's going to be facing into the mirror, I put some paint on it because on a mirror, you can see a little bit of the back of this piece of trim. Now we're going to be using some Loctite. This says it's instant. It's not. You got a little bit of working time with it. This is the powder, and there's 2 or 3 others. There's liquid nails. Just read on it. You know, it's all just a good adhesive that you need, and it is going to be permanent. If you try to take this off, it's probably going to break your mirror. Now, for those ladies out there who've never used a caulk gun, I got it. We've got this one we've used. So once we've used what we needed, stuck a nail in it so that way it wouldn't dry out. Don't stick the nail all the way in, it'd be hard to get out. Leave it out a little bit, so if you need to get a pair of pliers, pull it out, you can. Also, when you get a brand new tube, you have to cut the end off, and of course in here it's sealed. This is on every caulk gun, and it is made to stick down in there to bust that little seal open so you can use so you can get the caulk started. So, I'm going to take this nail out, and I also have some, told you about this earlier, frog tape. Now this is for delicate surfaces, so it's really ideal for this. This paint is dry to the touch. It's not completely cured, but with this, we're going to have to tape this. It's not going to pull the paint off. Now you don't want to put your adhesive too close to the edge because you're going to press, and with that bead of adhesive, it's going to spread as you push on it to get it on the wall. So we're going to put this gun up a little bit. And I want to get it on, this has got some grooves in it, and this is a little lower, so I want to be sure and get it on the parts that are raised, definitely. This is a little thicker than some instant adhesives, so it doesn't spread quite as good. Now if you'll notice, the adhesive is still coming out even though I took my finger off the trigger. You need to mash that and pull this out, or your adhesive is going to keep coming out. Did it a little bit too far. So we're going to place this right where we want it. Okay, so it's already got a good little volume. We might not even have to use the tape, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to pop some on there. And as I was pressing that on, I felt the mirror give a little bit, so you might need to be a little cautious on how much pressure you do put on it. So right now, I was scraping a little bit of paint, and I got some behind it, I can notice it, so there we go. 1 down, 3 to go. This trim is not extremely heavy, so you know you don't need as much caulk as if you were putting up something that was a lot heavier. Now if I can, I'm going to get Scott to come over here to show you that this wall is not straight. So we're going to end up with a small gap down here where we're putting this together. So right now my seams, my joint here is meeting up perfectly. But if you'll notice at the top of the wall there's a little more of a gap than there is at the bottom. I really don't want that space up here, because if I decide to change the wall color it's going to be really hard. I want this up against the wall. So my space is going to end up being down here, and we're just going to have to caulk it and repaint. So we've got that on there. I'll let Scott get back over there where he was at. And I'm going to get my little stool. Make sure I've got it pressed up against here. Alright. So let's put some tape on there. Like I said, I don't think it's going anywhere. This adhesive is, I could pop it off if I wanted to. It's not like it's dry, but the adhesive itself is thick enough that it holds in place. I know we used this on some other trim that was like 8-foot boards, and they were really heavy, so we did have to hold them for a few minutes, but this is so lightweight that it's not hurting anything. It's got a good grip on there. Dry run on this one. I think, of course, changing the paint color made a difference in this bathroom, but I think this is one thing that's going to really give the room a little more of a finished look. Just because, let's face it, a bigger mirror, well, basically it's just a piece of cut mirror, not very appealing. And some people, I've seen these, they paint them or they stain them the same color as their cabinets. It's all a matter of your taste, your preference. I like going with the white that's the same color as the trim. The biggest thing about lining these up, besides, I mean, if the crack's not good, that's fine, but I want to make sure that these grooves, that they line up. These cracks, we can fix those if they're not lined up. But I want to make sure that the grooves do match.
Where is it?
Hmm.
Where is it side up? There you go.
Now, honestly, I should probably go get a level, but we're eyeballing this one. And it looks pretty good. And considering we're trying to go with the wall over here up against it, and the wall's not plumb, not sure how much a level would help. Let's do a little tape on this. Well, that's tape. Not pretty, but it is functional. And our last piece. And now after we put this piece up, we're gonna let this adhesive dry, and then we'll come back and we will caulk our joints and do a little painting over just to where we put the paintable caulk to fill in these cracks, and we will be done with the mirror. And then we get to move on to the light fixture, which I'm excited about. It's like I may let the paint run just a little bit there, so I'll just take the sanding block, knock that off. So already you can tell that this has made a significant difference in the way that mirror looked. Once we get these cracks filled, painted, we will be good to go with the mirror, and we will move on to the light fixture. So I hope you learned something on this. If you've got any questions, just put them in the comment. If you've got any suggestions, put those in the comments. And I hope you come back for us to replace the light fixture. And don't be afraid, electricity is not going to kill you if you take precautions. It's not like me walking on the toilet or on top of the counter. There will be a little safety involved. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Hey, what do you think about Tanya, what she's done so far? Everything's been great. It's looking good. We're on time, under budget, the whole bit. So if y'all like what we're doing, reach down there and hit the subscribe button. Hit that little bell to be notified. If you got any comments, leave them, good or bad. Anything you want us to do, we'll put the HandyWife to work. Let us know in the comments. Anyway, y'all have a great evening, and be looking for part 4. It's coming up. See ya.